Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and welcome back to Let's Play Moons of Madness. This is episode 4. So, last time, quite a bit happened. We got chased by a tentacle monster through the greenhouse, and when we got out, we couldn't get a hold of anyone else in the base to tell them about it. Not that anyone was actually in the base, but, you know, spread out around Mars. So we decided to drive directly to the communications station where Declan is. Only when we got there and we got out of the meerkat, we were suddenly somewhere else. And we went into a cave of madness, where we found out more about the witch, who is just kind of being a dick. She wanted to give people nightmares, because she is afflicted with the filth, which is actually one of the main antagonists of the secret world, so I guess this game is more directly tied to that than I thought. But now we're in our childhood basement where Sean's mother disappeared. So presumably we're gonna find out more about that while we're down here.
Looks like something's stuck here.
Sorry, Shane, not Sean. Can I unstick it? It's like a photograph. I still think there's a good chance that his mother is the witch, but it's not a certainty yet. Experiment 13512, Stage 7, active phase in progress. Well, it looks pretty complicated. Initial sequencing and analysis of the human genome.
I see light behind the bookcase.
Reminder. C, B, he, same as the second one. Periodic table in laundry room. Match atomic with vol number.
Carbon, beryllium, helium.
Carbon, beryllium, helium. Okay, so beryllium is twice. So we have to look up the periodic table numbers for those. Carbon, beryllium, helium. Well, that looks like an Eldritch Gateway if I've ever seen one.
I don't even know what I'm looking at here. I wonder if this timestamp is important.
5731. Thought I saw a flip option. And there's the two symbols, but there's a lot more intersecting ones as well. I mean, clearly this is his mother's research notes that have just been kind of strapped around. A tree made out of, are those molecular bonds? Also just a lab coat hanging up next to some paddles and a pickaxe. Your typical American basement. Okay, so the periodic table is in the laundry room, which I guess is back here. Knock before opening the door. Don't want to ruin those photos. There's the periodic table. I don't suppose he... Well, we don't have our PDA thing, so I can't even look at it.
A note on the bookshelf had a list of elements.
Well, it's also written right there, so. So, carbon. Carbon is near selenium. I definitely do not know the periodic tables. Okay, there's selenium, so there's carbon. So that is 6. And then beryllium is 4. So 6, 4, and then helium. 6, 4, 2, 4. But how do I pull the same volume twice? So these are also just kind of like randomly placed. 6. So we got a 2, a 1, a 3. I guess since we're not actually pulling them out, we can just pull them again. And where was 4?
What the fuck? What is all this? I've never seen this room before.
But you also didn't look behind.
Are they keeping this thing down here?
You didn't look behind the bookcase. Is this why I had nightmares for my entire childhood?
Not like this.
This was kind of fucked up. I want to make sure I didn't miss any notes around here, since I noticed I missed a few in this first video. No? Unless there's something past the electricity water. Oh, see, I would have missed something in here. I think the witch is fucking with us. Still. I mean, she did send us here. And this is me awakening the elder creature.
It's that thing in the greenhouse.
It's a little bigger than the thing in the greenhouse.
That timestamp might be of use.
Well, I think we're gonna need these for something as well.
Looks like something's stuck here.
Well, fucking unstick it. Just slide it to the left. Now we gotta pull the whole thing off. Something went by out there. And this is the impossible geometry that makes your brain hurt when you look at it.
It looks like some sort of doorway. Maybe I should take note of that.
I mean, we're also just keeping the photos, so probably don't actually need to take note of that. So this leads back out. But I assume there's something in here as well we're gonna need. Flashlight. Probably another photo back here. To activate this Eldritch Shrine, you're going to need a series of 4-digit combinations. Want to make sure to keep them going. Don't want them to stop.
It's the Cyrano.
Are the people just dropping out of the Cyrano while it's still in orbit? Because that looks bad.
Are those people flying out of the ship? It's the Manticore logo. It definitely looks like the Cyrano.
All of the new astronauts killed themselves before they even reached the planet, because they were having nightmares too. Time is not linear, is it? Or maybe time is a flat circle, a petri dish poked by gigantic fingers. We are the bacteria. Are we? I keep seeing things outside of my time. It makes things difficult with my family. I've locked myself down here. With blank photo paper and chemicals, I'm able to make my visions manifest. I can project such sights. I see a space vessel heading towards the red planet. Alright, so these are not actual photos, they're things she generated from her visions. Unexposed films. Well, seems like there's nothing else we need. Don't ever stop playing. I have to wonder if there was ever a point where those things were not considered creepy. Like there was a kid who just really wanted a cymbal clapping monkey in his room. I guess there must have to been. Alright, so what do we got down here, Mom? Oh no, the words are fleeing. Relay. Their liquid dreams lubricate the passage. Call it Nurgle's rot. Call it the devouring plague. Call it the zero-point pathogen, the blackworm jism, the filth. The sizzling celestial syphilis eats holes in reality. One might enter these shrieking zones. To leave, one must find the tear in the skin of space. Ya Shadefyre. Ya Shagag. Ya Shashog. Though I've heard that just YA pronounced as IA. Okay, that's IA there, never mind. Ya Falmafran. Ya Naifatan. Ya Athsun. The dreaming ones were and are and will be. They are parent, spawn, and manger also, sleeping in the space between. Their dreams bubble and blaspheme, birthing quivering dimensions that mate with each other, forming new incestuous dominions. Not reality, not illusion, hyper-reality. Okay, we're getting into creepypasta territory now with the hyper-reality. The proper incantations allow travel into these pocket dimensions, but one might fall in by happenstance, through knowledge of the dreaming ones, through proximity. So are we in a pocket dimension right now? Is that a dreaming one? Because I assume that that whole cave we were in could be a pocket dimension that the witch is trapped in. Sort of trapped in. Kind of lives in. Probably not involuntarily trapped in anymore.
A pair of orbs. Weird. Even from this photo, it feels like they're watching me.
He doesn't want to remember that timestamp. So there's all kinds of unreadable lore up here. The moons, fear and dread. There are no solar eclipses on Mars. Phobos and Deimos are far too small. Also, fear and dread are what Phobos and Deimos mean. Total lunar eclipses of Phobos, however, are nearly nightly occurrences. These frightful siblings do not behave as our moon does. Fleet Phobos rises in the west, sets in the east, and rises a mere 11 hours later. Deimos rises more lazily from the east. Both moons are tidally locked, always showing the same face towards Mars. They never look away, they stare fixedly. Phobos stalks Mars. Its orbit slowly decreases. Someday it will crash into the red planet. Evidence suggests Mars may have had many more moons at one time, each meeting that fate, each committing self-destruction. They all just wanted to put an end to Mars, but they could not. Alright. So how am I supposed to know what order these go in? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what is it about the timestamps that's significant? Because obviously this one has a lot of numbers on it. It's probably not the first digit, since the first digit for most of them is 0. And it's not a combination of all the numbers together. Maybe I'm just supposed to go in order? Like, logical order? But then he wouldn't say, remember the timestamps. Like, the only thing that's readable on here is increase. Maybe I can't even, like, pull up my inventory, so I can't, like, take a closer look at them. I mean, we have 5, so clearly we have all the ones we need. Just gonna take a guess here.
A pair of orbs. Weird. Even from this photo, it feels like they're watching me.
I was gonna say maybe it's like the things in the photo, but obviously that's a pretty subjective interpretation. Maybe just the timestamp, like literally which one of these comes before the others. So like this one would be first at 700? Is that 0700 that this is supposed to be?
It's the Cyrano.
Wait, no, I want to actually place it. How do I actually place it? First, the Cyrano shows up and everybody dies. And then, Tentacle Monster chases me through the greenhouse, because I guess that could be us. Oh no, now I'm looking at that. I see what he means. The Tentacle Monster is the humanoid figure in the front, and the giant thing in the back is the mangroves. And then what happens next? I guess we find the gate? I don't think we've done that yet. And then we find the portal. And then we foolishly open the portal and awaken the dreaming elders.
These symbols, they're similar to the ones on the altar.
Did they return to the altar? From whence they came?
That book. I know that book. Mom was very protective of it.
It's the Necronomicon. Written by the mad Arab Abdul al-Hazrad.
Huh. No glowing symbols on these tablets.
Okay, so that was only one puzzle. We still have to find out where the other symbols went, which means trying to find what we can interact with. That one I was just kind of standing in. Flashed up a little too late. Why is there a broken window here? The witch was not content to give us nightmares. Now she's trying to give us daymares as well. Do you have the symbols within your symbols? Okay, it's not the notes, which makes sense. I don't know if I should just turn the rest of the power off. That would help, maybe? Because I don't really see anything else we can interact with. I mean, that kind of looks important, right?
Felt like my brain was melting. Those symbols were similar to the ones at the altar.
You say those symbols, but that's just one. That's just like a big duck mouth. Stare at it until it's burned into your brain. The hell was that? Does his mother just like carve these into everything? Make sure when you go down to the basement, you don't look around too much. Okay, that one doesn't matter. Did I see any other weird shapes carved in anything? Not really.
One of the tablets started glowing when I neared the altar. I suspect the blank ones are missing something.
It looks like there's 4 symbols on there. Also, I know that these are supposed to be the, like, representations of the moons in blood, but they really do just look like big, you know, coffee mug stains. Maybe if I turn off the power, it'd be easier to spot these. Looks like there might be one under there, but I think... Oh, there's one.
I can feel them vibrating behind my eyes.
Go-ka. Or ko-ka. It was Coca.
Yes, little one.
Yes, read the book. Lose your mind. Come on, Shane, you didn't even read it. You didn't even open the first page. He quite literally could not handle the book. And now we're back at the Meerkat. Sabotaged signal.
What? Did I drift off? That dream. God, it felt so real. The hair on the back of my neck is still standing on end.
It felt so real, and yet I didn't run out of oxygen. But it looks like your oxygen doesn't run out when you're in here, because like I thought, it's a self-contained atmosphere. Well, that was a pretty weird detour into the mind.
Oxygen levels are already full.
But I guess now we're back to real Mars.
Declan. Declan. No response.
For a second there, I actually thought that the tower was all destroyed when we woke up, but it's just these boxes lying around down here. Reason the rock stacks change each night. Seismic activity, unknown changes in atmosphere are altering optics, hallucinations, other. New password, 7357. Declan, come by to talk. You can't keep avoiding me by making up work. Let's see if I can remember that password. 7357. Because we'll probably need that to get in. Another badger. Doesn't have any power either, just like the last one we saw. 7357. Hey, listen. Hey, listen.
Oh, Jesus. Now, this is crazy. Who would even write all this?
Who would write the same word like 100 times? How long would that take? Oh, there's a power cell in here, and also a bunch of markers. Glad they added that little detail, in case you were wondering how it was written. Guess that's all we needed to do. I thought we were just going to drive it off, let it run off into the distance on its own. Feels like I can get over there if I like lower this and then stand on top of it, but why would I want to? No need for all that until we hit a dead end going up here.
I hope to God he's in the habitat.
I hope he's not dead or crazy or has grown tentacles out of his face. There's kind of a lot of things that could have gone wrong for him. See, like, there's also a path down here. Should I check it out, or is there going to be nothing? Because I feel like there's going to be nothing.
If it was a dream, then why is my scar still warm?
Why is my scar warm at all? How does that make sense? And we still didn't actually find out what happened to his mother.
Okay, one stack of rocks, fine. This, though? Declan is either really bored or somebody... I don't know. Let's just hope he has too much time on his hands. The elevator seems to be malfunctioning.
No, I guess we had to get up here then. Couldn't just take the elevator. Let's check if there's anything in here. O2 fill station, okay. Well, top right up. We already used 30% of our oxygen getting up here. This all looks pretty precarious, especially if there's regular seismic activity happening. Like, I feel like every time there's a minor quake, this stuff's just gonna start falling off. Maybe that's why they use scaffolding, because it's easy to put back together. Almost there. You know, it would be decently creepy if we saw just a figure standing out there in the dunes watching us. I think this connects to the the other elevator we could see from down there. Declan, I'm coming in. I hope you're decent and you've put your tentacles away. Remember to cycle the airlock first before taking your helmet off.
Declan, you here? Declan! It's empty? Declan! Damn it, where are you?
I mean, the witch had said that everybody else
Don't freak out. Just find out where he is.
had already succumbed to the filth.
This place. Josie was right. Jesus, I didn't know it was like this. How does he live like this?
So is he just living out here all the time then? Seems like that's the case. Okay, so we got a power cell we could steal there. Got some computers we can mess around with. Actually, just one. And then we got his insanity chamber.
Shit, this is bad. I'm sorry, Declan. I didn't know how bad it was. He can't stay alone out here anymore. He needs help.
I think that he needs help in ways that we can no longer provide on account of him being dead. I am... It's like upside down and backwards. Thragnon Atoth. Maybe it's just not readable, really. He's trying to see what kind of mold will grow on Mars. But what did he write in his toilet? Oh, let's take a look at his dream journal. Declan, write of your fantastic adventures, Dad. Nope, you gotta actually read it. Dad gave this to me. We had this little 12 by 10 by 10 case of personal effects that we could seal up before launch, and I almost left this behind. But it helps to write sometimes. Not sure why lying bothers me so much. My dad, my sister, they still think I'm freezing my ass off for climate studies in Antarctica. I don't know about fantastic adventures, Father dearest, but last night I dreamed I was on one of those celebrity dance shows, and my partner was Katharine Hepburn. And we won even though she was obviously dead. I was going to say, this is kind of far in the future for that. But it was great. Then I woke up, wrote down numbers from space for 6 hours, and drilled a tiny hole into 17 rocks, all while being a single reinforced pane of glass away from death. It's a real roller coaster here on Mars. Must be the Gaelic side of me coming out. I've been building cairns. I used to do a lot of hiking. I'd get annoyed by the little rock piles people would build along the trails. As if to say, I was here, I have developed fine motor skills, look at me. But the bonus of hiking on Mars is the leave no trace ethos is kind of optional on a completely deserted wasteland. During EVAs, I've started to just take a moment, grab a few loose pieces, and build a cairn. My little zen garden, balancing the rocks, it felt nice. Lately though, I see the rocks moving. I tested my theory, although in fuck-all most limited unscientific way. I'd make a new stack with the finest Martian rock samples I could find, pristine, dusty rocks, and then I'd wait a day. They wouldn't fall over, no, that'd be too simple. One stack would have a single rock swap, not an easy rock like the top piece, but a centerpiece. One centerpiece swapped from this stack to the other, no glove marks, nothing. Just two shitty Martian rocks that I swear change places in the middle of the night. Why am I writing this? When a person is drowning, their throat seizes up, preventing water from entering their lungs, but also air. The reflex is so strong you could be floating there with your mouth well above the water's surface, unable to cough, unable to breathe. You don't drown because you're underwater, you drown because of yourself. Sticking a needle in the webbing between your toes, it sounds so horrific, like your natural reflexes would kick in, but it's the reverse. The emotions dive, the depression slams you with a singular focus, your mind starts justifying it all, releasing a hint of those chemicals. You're pretty much a tiny little voice trying to control this monstrosity. It's nearly impossible. And so this natural reflex to hurt yourself so terribly and specifically becomes everything. So you drown in it. Jesus Christ, my hand is shaking. I think I'll sleep at base tonight. Gotta get out of here for a bit. I haven't been sleeping well. Understatement. Sometimes I can't tell I'm awake or dreaming. The numbers keep coming. The messages start to make sense. Spending time at the base doesn't help. It's a hassle trying to come up with reasons why I need a rover ride every day. Just a bit of casual hallucinations, everyone. Nothing to worry about. If you could pick me up before the flashback started around 6 in the evening, that'd be swell. Maybe I'll build another cairn. Let the witch move the rocks around. Fun pastime. Wish I had a beach chair and a margarita. Might as well just enjoy my descent into insanity. I saw the witch today. I'm still shaking. Looked out the window and my sister is standing on the cliffside. My sister! She was stark naked out in the nothing of Mars, choking, eyes bulging out of her head like a goldfish fallen out of the bowl. Nearly killed myself throwing my suit on. I get out there, I run, stumbling around to the barriers. Instead, there is a person with a paleness to her, deep black hair, and she's facing away looking out over the endless dunes. When she turns to look at me, it is not my sister. A deep black hole where a face might be, a gray slit curled into a smile. I feel and taste granules of sand pouring into my open mouth, and suddenly I can't breathe. She slowly draws nearer as I slam my fist on my chest, trying to breathe. Tendrils of blackness reach out from the endless void in her skull. I'm sinking into the desert. She's trying to pull me under, and I wake up gasping for air. I don't lose it like this, I just don't. Fuck this. And that's it, that's the last thing he wrote. Alright, Declan, so what do you got for us? Slight fluctuation in array rotation during calibration. Diagnostics for self-clean systems require filter replacement. Slight dip in power to non-critical systems due to solar array generator power at 94.7. EVA to recent rock slide at heavy transport elevator 2B. Estimate to clear and assess approximately 3 days. 8:39, emergency protocol. Something is wrong with the dish. Circuit box shorted. No prior warning, just sparks flying mid-transmission. Yeah, there was a sandstorm, but we'd never seen a blackout like that. Circuit's fried while I'm sitting there. Had to manually reboot the backup generator's servers, which should have automatically engaged. I don't know. New to do, I guess. Temporarily reroute circuit boxes, run a biogauge scan, manually calibrate satellite dish. Where's Shane? So this chapter is called Sabotage, so it would make sense that someone sabotaged the dish right about the time where we were getting chased around by Tentacle Man. All personnel, due to a recent sandstorm, a servo malfunction caused site-wide communications to be down for several hours. Backup servers have been activated and will function as the new primary communication network, though at a significantly reduced intensity and radius. Chief Engineer Shane Newhart has been informed of the damage and will be tasked with circuitry repairs. Until then, expect intermittent comms interruptions while the network is re-established. Thank you for your understanding. Were we informed of this? Well, here's the numbers. Seems like a back and forth between two people that's been coded as numbers. No for Shane. Shane, where are you? If you see this, we're headed back to base. We waited, but you were nowhere. I'm with Josie and Lucas, and we're taking the rover back. We lose contact for a second, your rover coordinates disappear, and suddenly the satellite goes nuts. I don't know if it was the freak sandstorm or what. Doesn't matter. Get back to base. Contact us. Whatever you can do. I just hope you see this. So, they saw us driving towards them on the radar, or whatever, and then we just disappeared, I guess, and ended up in the Cave of Madness. Alright, so we're going to need to recalibrate the satellite in order to get communications back. And we're probably going to need this power cell. Helmet on, environment cycled. It'd be great if it did actually let you open the door without cycling the atmosphere, and you just immediately die by the door getting blown off when the whole atmosphere vents. Alright, so let's head into the tower here. So I kind of wish that maybe the stuff with the caves and everything had happened just a little later, that we had just a little bit more of this kind of regular Mars stuff before getting to the really wacky deep end. Because I feel like it wasn't quite earned. You know, there wasn't really enough build-up to that before we were just suddenly there.
Doing good, Chief. Don't look down.
I mean, that's not so bad. That's not a huge height. And then you look over the edge and it's like, that's a long tumble.
Whoa, what is that? Holy shit!
Pretty sure that's the Cyrano.
No. Oh my god, please just be a meteor.
What's left of it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that was fucked up. Oh. Do you see like a blinking light down there for a second? Just making sure there's no like external controls we need to mess with. Alright. Hopefully this is a fairly straightforward thing we need to do in here. I mean, it's not a very big room, so can't be that complicated. Power conduit. Well, we don't have a power cell, and I don't think the battery is connected to the elevator. Angelus Communications Module. Communications module for the Angelus Mark IV. For security reasons, broadcast signals are encrypted. Use a decryption chart to locate the signal and rotate the dish via connection to the biogauge. Okay, there's a power cell here. It looks inert. Also doesn't look the same as the other one. Well, let's plug it in and see if anything happens.
Ah, burning plastic. Definitely a short in the system.
Follow the smell before it catches on fire, because fire in space is very bad. When you're in a compressed oxygen atmosphere. Case of emergencies, connect to device to reroute power between units. Designed by Anansi Technologies as the official power conduit of the Invictus mission. During critical systems failure, power is optimized towards prioritized units.
I need to find a way to reroute power around the damaged nodes.
So are we just doing like a path swapping thing here? What? Okay, rotate slot is left click. I feel like I can't actually move anything here yet. Oh no, I can rotate them, I just can't move them. Alright, so we just need to get the power. Trying to figure out where the bad connector is here. Okay, so these are no good. Those are the two that we can't use. That. No, you can't cross over itself. Okay, so that's a corner piece. So we do that. There we go. Spiderweb series circuit box. Case of emergencies, connect to the device to reroute power. Okay, no, that's the same thing. So does this one do anything different?
This panel distributes power between the dish and the PC terminal, and that busted node means I can only power one of them at a time.
I guess we should look at the computer first to see what we need to use. No power. So I need to power the terminal and then the dish, because the terminal will tell me how I have to rotate the dish. Kind of wish there wasn't like a blinding light on the screen in this spot. Okay, so we can only connect it like this. And this one doesn't do anything. I guess that's the busted one. So we'll power the other side then. Alright, how can we get power up here? No, that one's fine. It's only got one path there. Oh, okay, that's the terminal. That's not the terminal up here. Should be able to just rotate this one now as I need it. Okay, so the terminal is active. Shane goes missing. Lose contact with the Cyrano. Then the circuit boxes start going haywire. Pull just enough power to turn the dish to Josie and get some sort of signal. Then it all just resets. What a beautiful day on Mars. Reminder. Sure, Orochi will find out I'm breaking encryption rules, but I can never remember the constantly changing code schedule. Codename equal Our Glorious Leaders. Chatterbox is comm relay satellite. Rostand is Cyrano. Okay, so we were looking at a message between Cyrano and the leaders at Orochi. Chatterbox is comm relay satellite. Marble, where Antarctica is. Earth? Angelus Calibration Manual, Section 7, Calibration. Calibration must be performed manually via biogauge after security authorization via ID badge. Due to the potentially compromising aspects of calibration and outgoing signals, access to calibration routines is limited to engineering staff. After initial calibration is achieved, the Angelus Communications Array utilizes automated routines to maintain calibration. Note that if the targeted signal cannot be followed, for example due to going under the horizon, the Angelus will need to be manually calibrated when the signal is available. General signal quality should be maintained at or above 85% at all times. Lower signal quality may result in interruption of service. Per Orochi security policies, calibration information may not be stored in any form, encrypted or otherwise. File generated every 15 minutes by script. Declan, home, scripts, comms, chords. So, we want to set the coordinates to Chatterbox, -158.43. -158.43.
Gotta pick up the pace, Shane.
Does it mean there's a storm coming? Doesn't look that much different, it's just kind of darker. Okay, let me just double check this number. I think it's -158.43. Yep. There is another one here.
Amping up the current. Too much power will fry the system. Too little, and the dish won't work.
Okay, so for this one, we have 3 power coming from this side, and we need 9 to actually run the dish. So obviously, we're going to need 6 added on. Okay, route it like that. Like that. So that's already 6 there. Now if I didn't want to route it, that would be +1, +1. So that's too much power. Can we get around the 3? I think we can get around the 3, but then we're still short a little bit. Unless we connect that. Disconnect that. Connect that. Connect that. But now we're too short. How can we route this through the top? Oh, I see. So we'll go like this, and then like that.
Sandstorm is picking up again. Things just keep getting worse.
Alright, so I think we're going to wrap up after we hit our next checkpoint, because we made pretty good progress here, I think. Pretty much completed this whole area after getting out of the basement. Okay, so we need -158, which is this way. It takes a minute to stop rotating. You have to kind of let go of it prematurely. Slowly turn it up. No, we actually have to hit T, it looked like. Broadcast.
Hello?
All hands on deck situation. Crash landed.
Oh my god. Commander Wilcox, where are you?
Something. Newhart?
Do you copy? There is a creature roaming Trailblazer Alpha. Do not return to base. Repeat, do not!
I can't hear you. You're cutting out. We are at base. We need to investigate the Cyrano crash site.
There's definitely something fucking with the signal.
Commander Wilcox!
Signal
Wilcox!
lost. Please contact a qualified associate.
So that looks like sabotage when it deliberately disconnects like that. Alright, so we'll go back, we'll get in the Meerkat, and then I think that'll be a good time to wrap up the episode. Beings from dust. Oh, well, I guess we checkpointed here, so maybe something is going to happen between here and Meerkat, so let's just call it end an episode here. We got a sandstorm coming in, we've got people who are still alive, the Cyrano crash landed, so things are starting to look pretty grim for the folks here on Mars, but maybe we can still pull it back from the edge. Until next time, I've been Shadefyre. Take care, everyone.